Blunt Slide 42 asks, do you remember an old Let's Player called Renifus, most famous for his Twilight Princess Let's Play? If so, what good qualities and traits of his are you adapting within your own Let's Plays? Yeah, I do know who that was, but sadly I never got a chance to watch any of his stuff. I always heard really good stuff about him, but I'll fill in people's, for those who aren't familiar with him, I'll fill in the history a little bit. From what I can remember about Renifus, I might not have the facts correct here, but I know he had, like you said, a Twilight Princess Let's Play, and I believe he used a lot of movie clips and stuff, and he got like a bunch of copyright on his channel, and it kept happening to the point to where he decided to just get rid of all his videos, and now if you go to Renifus's channel, it's just like blank, and he doesn't have any videos at all. And I know he made a channel comment a while back saying that he's pretty much just not doing anything anymore, so... Sorry, I keep burping. Cut it out. Anyway. Sadly, I never got a chance to watch his stuff, but I always heard good stuff about him. I even tried, like, just searching his name on YouTube to see if anyone had, like, some old uploads of his, like, for archive purposes and stuff, but I couldn't find anything of him, but it's a shame, but sorry. And therefore I haven't adapted any of his qualities into my Let's Plays or anything, but I mean I do the movie clip thing like I guess maybe he did, but not because I adapted it from him. So yeah, sadly never got to watch him, but I mean I heard good stuff about him. Second question is, will you ever consider doing Mario ROM hacks? Nah, definitely not. There's just so many out there, and on top of that, I just wouldn't be able to make them entertaining. The humor and entertainment from Mario ROM hack Let's Plays is just how obscure the game is and how kind of frustrated the player gets, and I wouldn't really be able to do that, nor would I be able to really make it all that entertaining, so yeah, probably not. Okay, let's see. I don't know, some of these are marked as spam, sorry. 094 asks, besides Let's Playing, what are your other hobbies and interests? What? I have a life outside of Let's Plays? Oh yeah, well sometimes I do stand and sit and things like that. I have some pretty laid-back hobbies, I guess. I like walking and going outside. I read. I like learning about various things. You know, I research stuff, look stuff up, read about things. I do fiction-based stuff. You know, like I'll write or I'll come up with characters, things of that sort. Exercise, I'm into it. I don't work out as much as I should, but it's something I do at least on a frequent basis. I mean, I won't go like a whole month and not work out, so. Yeah, I guess those are my big hobbies. Sorry if they're not that interesting, but at least I didn't say stuff like, I like going to the mall and hanging out with friends and just being me. You know, people always say stuff like that in like their profiles, and I mean, I don't expect anything too creative out of those people, but at the same time I kind of want to shake them and go, we all like doing that. That doesn't make you original. Okay. Oh god, this question. I remember seeing this question and I thought like, oh, I don't even know if I'll be able to answer this. I'm not, I mean, don't apologize or anything, it's okay. But Nintendo Sega Master asks, what gave you the idea to do the recap guy and the grunting intro for your Let's Plays, basically? How did I come up with the recap and all that? The reason I kind of dreaded this question is because it's so confusing to try to explain how I came up with that, and I'm going to try my best to explain this, how I came up with the recap thing. Oh god. I'll try my best to explain it, but I'll probably fail miserably. Let me see if I can. Okay, as most of you may or may not know, my Let's Play of Ocarina of Time that's on my channel right now was a redux. It was a redux of my original Let's Play, because my old Let's Play got deleted. The other thing that you guys may or may not know is that some of those videos were saved. A YouTube user named, I think it was ZeldaWolf2000, actually saved a couple of the videos, but not very many. I think she saved like part 1, part 2, and then like part 5. It was kind of shuffled. It was something like that. So, rather than redo those particular parts from scratch, I simply re-uploaded the ones that she saved. So she saved part 1, she saved part 2, didn't save part 3, didn't save part 4, but saved part 5. So what that meant was I could simply re-upload part 1, re-upload part 2, but then I had to redo 3, redo 4, and then 5 was just kind of a re-upload as well. As I was making those videos, I realized that once I get to like part 5, the stuff I was saying at the beginning of the video was no longer consistent with what happened last video, because the previous video was now a reduxed video. For example, part 3 was a redux, part 4 was a redux, part 5 was an old re-uploaded video. So at the beginning of part 5 I said stuff like, "Welcome back to Ocarina of Time. Last video we did this and this and this," and the stuff I said was no longer consistent because I had to redo part 4. So in the process of doing that, I thought, well, I have to kind of, what am I supposed to do? Just kind of cut off where I recapped what happened last video? Do I just delete that section and just start the video out of the blue? What am I supposed to do? So then I just randomly came up with the idea of just kind of recapping what happened last video to replace the fact that I was in the video recapping stuff that no longer happened last video. So I came up with recap, and I just thought, why don't I just kind of really quickly say what happened last video? That way I'm not sitting here for 20 minutes saying what happened last video. And it was just really fast, and I just kind of threw it together, kind of just for kicks and giggles, and people seemed to like it so much that I just randomly did it for part 4, and then people really liked it again. So I just kept doing it more and more, and it seemed to be one of the most successful things about that Let's Play. So I just kept doing it. And that's how I came up with recap. I'm sorry if that was confusing. If it was confusing you, you can let me know in the comments, and I'll try to reword it better, but that's how I came up with it. Grunny was, I don't know. I think Grunny was just a way I was going to open the Let's Play. I wanted some way to open up the Let's Play. I just thought of Grunny opening it up, and the intro, people seemed to like it so much that I just started making that the recap, because I wanted a way to sort of recap things in Banjo-Kazooie, because I didn't want to just do the recap in that Let's Play also. So I kind of thought, like, what if Grunny rhymed about what happened last video? And thankfully that story's not as confusing, but anyway, sorry if that was a complicated story behind recap, but the King of Dinner, moving on. The King of Dinner asks, "What's for dinner?" I wonder what's for dinner. I don't know. Pork chops were for dinner tonight. I don't know about tomorrow night, no. Though. I don't know. Maybe children's ears. We'll go with that. Do you still watch YouTube poops? If so, who's your favorite pooper currently? Nah, not really. If I do watch any kind of YouTube poop, it's just a random video. I'll just see it in the related of something and go, I wonder what that is. Yeah. I don't really go to a particular person and say, what's this YouTube pooper doing nowadays? Because I know, like, it's just kind of died out. Like, I used to watch Crobo Productions, and he got suspended like 20 times. And he's still suspended, I think. Walrus Guy, he, like, retired from it. Boogity Boo stopped doing them. There was that guy, Swish Films Inc. He did a lot of funny stuff, but he hasn't done a video in forever, so most of the people I watched, like, here and there, they just don't really do them anymore, so. Playthrough Queen. 0291 asks, do you like The Sims? If so, have you ever thought about let's playing a game? I don't know if I could really say I like The Sims as a series, but because I just haven't played very much of it. But I have played one or two of the Sims games, and I did like them. I didn't love them, but sorry. Again, the burping is it's just kind of coming out as I'm talking, folks. Sorry. Yeah, I had the Sims game on the PlayStation 2, and I played Busting Out, but I don't really remember it all that much. Yeah, I did like the Sims. It was, not much to them really, but they're still relatively fun games. They're nice to get a little kick out of. In terms of Let's Playing, yeah, that has actually crossed my mind to do a Let's Play of one, kind of put some real writing into it, sort of make a sitcom out of it, since I'd have to come up with my own dialogue for the characters, but that'd be a lot of work, so yeah, can't really say I like the series since I haven't really played much of it, but I can see that they're pretty fun games, I guess. But I don't think I'll ever Let's Play one. Blood Ocean 7 asks, or 07, sorry, Blood Ocean 07 asks, will you ever do a Let's Play on a recent game, such as Mario Galaxy 2, GoldenEye for the Wii, Epic Mickey, Kirby's Epic Yarn, other games such as these? Well, I'm not big on doing a recent game, as I talked about in my Let's Play advice, just because I'd prefer to stick to games that I know well, games that I've grown to really love, and I have a real passion for, and if the game hasn't been out very long, it's hard for me to really feel that way about them. I don't think I'll ever do a game blind, because Mario Sunshine was a failure, and it's just not. I just don't think it's really much of my strength as a Let's Player. Not that I have very many anyway, but as for those specific ones you listed, nah. Mario Galaxy 2, nah, that's just not for me in terms of Let's Play territory. I haven't played GoldenEye or Epic Mickey, and Kirby's Epic Yarn might be kind of fun, but I don't know. Not sure if I'll Let's Play that game. Yeah, I'm not going to just flat out say no to more recent games, but I think I'll generally avoid those just because I think in terms of my strengths as a Let's Player, recent stuff is just kind of out of my league a little bit. I don't feel I could make very entertaining Let's Plays out of really recent stuff like that, but nothing's set in stone with that, I guess, but maybe a possibility. Mr. Green 1996 asks, if you were on an epic journey, who would you pick as a partner? And he lists some choices here. My choices are Mario, Leon Kennedy, Chris Redfield, Link, or the Owl from Ocarina of Time. Well, as annoying as Kapoor Gabor is, he would be able to sort of give us transportation, so I guess he could be in handy a little bit, but it would kind of take the epicness out of the journey a little bit, since, I don't know, when you think of epic journey, you think of, like, having to get there, having to really struggle to get from point A to point B. Just flying there, it's not really much of a epic journey, really, but, so I guess in terms of the epic journey criteria, I guess he's kind of voted out. Link would be cool, but he wouldn't really be that fun to be with as a partner, just because he never talks. I think I gotta go with Mario just because he'd be a good sidekick, but also because I think he'd be the most fun as a teammate. Leon and Chris just kind of seem all serious. I mean, they're cool, but I don't know. I think Mario would be the most fun to have as a teammate on an epic journey, so anyway. So yeah, Mario. Let's see. Dexter300 asks, did you play an instrument, and if so, which one? And what is my favorite instrument? Nah, I kind of toy around with the piano a little bit here and there, but I don't play an instrument to the point where I'm actually good at it or anything, or have any real skill. My favorite instrument, probably either the guitar or the piano. Pretty close between those two. Jumpman1337 asks, what is your belief on how the world is going to end? Heck if I know, man. I don't worry about that kind of stuff. You know, can't live for that, dude. You gotta focus on what's right in front of you. It's okay to prepare for the future a little bit, but I don't know. It ends when it ends, you know? Yeah. That gets kind of scientific a little bit, but I don't know. I just don't worry about any of that kind of stuff, you know? I got a good life ahead of me, and got a good life currently, and that's what's important. Not how it ends, so. All's well that ends well, right? I guess. Amusings BNL something ask, on average, how many hours a day do you spend playing video games, excluding Let's Plays? I don't really pump that much into video games, just in terms of like hours and stuff. I mean, the only time I'll really play a game for hours is if I like just got it like that day, and I'll just play it for a little while. If it's a game I just got and I may be playing it with a friend for the first time, I don't know, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe a little less. Just by myself, you know, maybe an hour or less. Second question: did your bagpipe decapitate my blue hamster? Well, yeah, he was kind of, you know, he I don't know, dude. He kept turning off our toaster while we were cooking bagels and stuff, so. No. I don't have a bagpipe because I just said I don't play instruments, so. Dave Braun asks, will you ever be returning to finish Perfect Dark on the N64? Well, big props to you, man, because that means you're a long-time fan, if you're aware of that project, so big props to you for sticking with me this long, man. You're awesome. Man, you might be a woman or something, but for those several of you who don't know, because I'm sure only like 2 of you know this, long time ago, in the long ago, I actually had like a very small Perfect Dark project I started. Back in like late 2008, I did like 5 videos of Perfect Dark, and I randomly decided I just didn't really want to do a Let's Play of it anymore. I mean, I love Perfect Dark, but I just didn't really want to do a Let's Play of it. I just wasn't having too much fun with it. So the answer to that is probably no. It's just first-person shooters were just not really for me in terms of Let's Plays. But yeah, you're awesome for knowing that, because that means you've been around for a while. So yeah, .NET Wolf asks, of all the Pokemon that exist today, which of the following do you like the most? I think you meant like out of all the Pokemon, which is my favorite. I guess that's what you meant, because you said which of the following, like there's going to be a list, and you didn't give one. I guess you just meant what's my favorite Pokemon. My favorite Pokemon is Vulpix, so. I guess some honorable mentions. I love Squirtle. Arcanine's pretty cool. Just throwing some random ones out there. Mewtwo. Dragonite is pretty awesome. Actually, I'm kind of a fan of Golduck. I think Golduck's pretty cool. Just because he goes from that to being like the dopey duck to like the cool duck. Yeah, but then Magikarp's kind of like that too. He evolves into Gyarados. I think Gyarados might be on there too a little bit. Vaporeon I really like. So yeah. Anyway, second question is, what's my opinion on the 3DS and why? Can't really give much of an opinion on it right now since it's not even out yet. But in terms of like first impressions and stuff, I don't know. I can't say much about it since it's not out, but I do look forward to at least trying it out, seeing what it's like. The one thing I fear is that the 3D is going to be too gimmicky. What I do believe is probably going to happen with the 3DS is that it's going to get to the point to where it's like movies are nowadays, where there's a lot of movies that are just all about the 3D. They just advertise it like, Saw 3D and crap like that. And it's all about the 3D and not about the story at all. They don't give a crap about that. And I feel like the 3DS games, a lot of them are going to be like that. I feel like there's going to be a lot of games that are going to be all about the 3D, and they're going to put very little into the gameplay and the story, etc. So, I look forward to it, but I just hope that it won't be a big gimmick, and I hope it won't just be like all eye candy, no real like good gameplay. But I look forward to it, and it seems fairly promising so far. But we'll have to see what it's like when it comes out. Let's see. Sorry, I got an itchy nose a little bit. Ligament26 asks, the reason I like your Let's Plays is because of your style. As in, you add movie clips, songs, and other related media to increase the humor in a joke, or to be the catalyst of a joke. What gave you the idea to do this style that strays away from what I've seen from the normal Let's Play format? Well, thank you very much, and thank you for that deep analysis of how my style is. I've never thought of my style being anything like that. I've just thought it was just silly, stupid guy playing video games. And I just kind of added that stuff just to be goofy. But yeah, that is generally what I go for. Like you said, a catalyst. I do just, usually when I'm playing a game, maybe a moment will just kind of remind me of a scene from a movie, or for example, Nintendo Capri Sun, the one thing that he does a lot in his Let's Plays is he'll be doing something, and then like a movie quote will pop in his head, and then he'll just kind of say the movie quote, or like the song quote or a song lyric or something like that. And I'm very similar to that. That kind of happens with me a lot. But sometimes I'll take it a step further and just put the whole clip in, just depending on what it is. I don't want to get copyright or anything. Can't really say what really gave me the idea. Because I mean, first of all, thank you for your praise and all that, but to be fair, I'm not really all that like creative and original by doing this, because a lot of people do this. So I think Cypheron did kind of give me the idea a little bit to do that, because he had this thing in his Let's Play where almost every part consisted of him like putting at least one small clip in. Like, it wasn't necessarily like if it fit, it was just more of his kind of goofy thing. Like, he'll randomly, like, something reminded him of ER, and he just said something like, yeah, the show ER, which I've never seen one episode of. And then he just randomly like put the theme song for like 4 seconds just to be goofy. That's kind of what he did, and I kind of got the idea a little bit of movie clips, but I did it more just like if I felt it kind of fit with what was happening in the game, Like, for example, when Death Mountain gets saved and the red cloud goes away, I put in the clip at the end of Return of the King where Sauron is destroyed and all that, because it just kind of reminded me of that. But yeah, I wish I had a more creative story behind that, but that's about as much as I can say about that. Redukala, or Reduluca, something like that, asks, what happened to your channel with Odin, Griffin Lobster, etc.? Infinite Ammo. And you asked that question a few weeks ago, but I think since then we actually did one more video on that channel. Yeah, we do still do stuff on that channel. We would like to update it more often, but the big issue with updating on that channel is it's difficult to get all of us together to do one video, because it's a matter of us like all being on Skype at the same time, and all of our schedules are so scattered that it's hard for us to find a time where we're all together and willing to record. So yeah, we would like to update more often, but sometimes things just get in the way. Sorry. Dougals3216 asks, have you ever thought about doing an abridged series before deciding to do Let's Plays? Nah, not really. There's There's some abridged series out there that I guess are pretty good. I haven't really seen them, but I kind of like riffing and Mystery Science Theater, kind of goofy stuff like that. But and doing something similar to that is it's kind of fun to do, but not really an abridged series though. It's not really something I'd really be good at.